Hello, welcome. Thank you for joining us on this edition of NEWS2. I'm Sandra Mansing. In our top story, recently elected to his third term, Senator Myron Jackson of the St. Thomas District will be the Senate President for the 32nd Legislature, as announced by the current 31st Legislature President Neville James. Senator Neville James and a new majority for the 32nd Legislature are hopeful for the 2017-2018 term. Richard Dorsey files this report.
31st Legislature Senate President Neville James caught up with TV2 News to share some information on the new majority as well as their plans for the next legislature.
Of course, there were 11 Democrats elected. Senator Millennium chose not to be a part of the caucus, and so we put the caucus in place based on a number of variables to include the agreement between respective districts as it relates to rotating the presidency. And as a result of that, normally the vice president comes from the opposite district. So in selecting Senator Jackson, we had to look at a vice president option here on St. Croix. And Senator O'Reilly has been selected by us to be our vice president. This is her first time being in a majority, so she'll have a good learning curve, but we're more than confident that she can handle it. A number of senators are looking forward to us convening the second Monday in January, picking up where we left off with respect to moving legislation that will address our infrastructure and our financial position, because as you know, right now, even though we had the benefit of a financial agreement with Line 3 Bay Terminals that allowed for a $200 million infusion to our coffers, the administration took the payment option with respect to the debt option in terms of paying off some of our debt and our line of credit, and that forced us to consider a borrowing option. So we did that. So we should be, according to the language, there shouldn't be a need for any borrowing for fiscal year 2017 and 2018. So that put us in a position where we can just focus on putting policy in place and making sure that we shore up areas of need, specifically the GRS and our hospitals and our water and power authority.
Richard Dorsey, News 2.
With economic and policy challenges ahead for the 32nd Legislature, Virgin Islands residents are expecting positive results from their duly elected leaders in the territory. Virgin Islands General Election 2016 votes have been certified for the St. Thomas-St. John District, with 10,908 ballots cast in the St. Thomas-St. John District. Vote participation for this election was 45.6%, although the boards of election and education for the district have been successfully completed. There may be an issue with the senatorial race. The supervisor of elections, Carolyn Fox, was sent a letter challenging the residential status of Senator-elect Kevin Rodriguez. The letter, submitted by Bridget Berry, proposes that Senator-elect Rodriguez was not eligible for senatorial office due to inconsistencies in the timeline of his residency in the Virgin Islands. Berry asked the board to address the residency issue in order to regain public confidence in the democratic process. Count on 2 to keep you updated. Bureau of Corrections officer has been arrested at Golden Grove, St. Croix on Sunday, November 20th at approximately 10:01 a.m. 26-year-old Keisha Belgrave, a corrections officer with the Bureau of Corrections, was arrested for introducing contraband and cell phone into the correctional facility. Bail was set at $10,000 pending advice of rights hearing. Unable to post bail, Ms. Belgrave was remanded to the Golden Grove Detention Facility. Also, police say on Monday, November 21st, at approximately early in the evening, 911 emergency call center was notified that the Renegade Marine Interceptor, which is a 38-foot VIPD boat, part of the Marine unit, was discovered partially submerged at the Gallows Bay Marina dock in Christiansted. Officers responded that the Renegade was partially submerged in the slip at the Gallows Bay Marina, where it is normally stored. The necessary equipment utilized to raise the vessel will be available on the morning of Tuesday, November 22nd. This incident is currently under investigation. In other news, in 2 weeks since winning the election, Donald Trump has met with members of the media but hasn't yet held a press conference. As Diane Gallagher explains, he's sharing his policy plans with the American people in his own way. Here's more.
My agenda will be based on a simple core principle: putting America first.
So far this week, Donald Trump's had a closed-door sit-down with network heavyweights and an on-again, off-again, on-again meeting with the New York Times Tuesday. But when it comes to actually outlining his agenda, The president-elect chose to pre-record a 2.5-minute video to lay out his first 100 days without having to answer any questions.
I will cancel job-killing restrictions on the production of American energy, including shale energy and clean coal, creating many millions of high-paying jobs. I am going to issue our notification of intent to withdraw from the Trans-Pacific Partnership.
And though a major campaign issue,
don't waste your breath. It will be built.
On immigration, I will direct the Department of Labor to investigate all abuses of visa programs that undercut the American worker.
Notably missing in his 100-day outlook is any mention of deportations, refugees, or even the wall. One particular rallying cry for Trump supporters:
We're going to look into that crime very, very seriously, folks. Very, very serious.
According to the president-elect, won't be happening. His senior advisor explaining Trump is moving on.
Look, I think he's thinking of many different things as he prepares to become the president of the United States, and things that sound like the campaign aren't among them.
In Washington, I'm Diane Gallagher.
In other news, the driver, John Anthony Walker, has been charged with 5 counts of vehicular homicide after that deadly school bus crash in Chattanooga, Tennessee. Police said the bus flipped on its side and crashed into a tree while taking students back home from school Monday afternoon. Officials say at least 5 students were killed and 23 others were hospitalized. The death toll may not include any victims who may have died at the hospital. Police say the driver is under arrest, and he's also facing reckless endangerment and reckless driving charges. They also say additional charges against him are possible. Investigators are looking into speed as a possible factor in that crash. They also plan to review the video from the vehicle's informational box. Keeping our eye on the economy, thinking about getting out of town for Turkey Day? Well, you're not alone. AAA says this week from Wednesday to Sunday will be the busiest Thanksgiving travel day. AAA projects more than 48 million people will travel to their Turkey Day destination. The TSA says it's prepared, but are you? If you are one of the 3 million people flying the friendly skies, arrive early. Get to the airport roughly 2 hours before your flight, and if you have to park, give yourself even more time. Keep your phone charged and make sure your airline has your number just in case plans change. Here's a look at the stock market watch at the New York Stock Exchange. According to that, the Dow is up 67, NASDAQ up 17, S&P 500 also up at 4. Coming up on News 2, our Spirit of Giving segment continues in recognition of Thanksgiving, how some in the territory are celebrating and recognizing the Day of Giving. Welcome back. Time for our Spirit of Giving segment as we recognize Thanksgiving. Now, in the spirit of giving, News 2 went out to learn more about what one charity in St. Croix is planning for the holiday. Here's more.
Lutheran Social Services tells News 2 how they share the holiday spirit.
We make sure that our residents, whether they be at Queen Louise home, whether they are Ginger Thomas, whether they live in our communities independently, that we celebrate each holiday with them. So for example, for Thanksgiving Day, we make sure that we do Thanksgiving dinner for each and every one of the groups so that we celebrate with them the holidays.
Meanwhile, students here in St. Thomas at the Ivana Udoracan High School, they received a treat today, a Thanksgiving meal complete with a change of scenery and atmosphere in the school's cafeteria. This is what Thanksgiving is all about, they say. Here's more.
Good afternoon. We are here from the Ivana Udoracan High School, the home of the Dynamite Rays. And today we are celebrating Thanksgiving as a family. So the entire school of 900 plus students, all of the members of the faculty and staff are here having a Thanksgiving style meal. We realize that many students are not fortunate enough to engage in a Thanksgiving meal. And so we bring the entire faculty and staff and we eat with the students. And it's just one of those rich traditions that everyone has grown to appreciate. So this has really been a collaborative effort where members of the community, all of the parents contributed to making this Thanksgiving dinner a huge success. So we just want to say thank you from the Ivana Udorakan High School.
In other news, some sad news to report. Many are mourning his passing. The St. Thomas St. John Chamber of Commerce recognizes his passing as well of Mr. Mulo ALWANI, a community and business leader. Mulo has been an integral part of the U.S. Virgin Islands for more than 40 years. Actively involved in many organizations, he was a longtime member of the Board of Directors of the Chamber of Commerce, a past president of the India Association, a past member of Harmonic Lodge number 356E, a past district governor of Rotary International District 7020, and a member of the Board of Directors of Partners for Health and CFVI. Mulo and his family have owned and operated businesses in Jamaica, St. Martin, and the U.S. Virgin Islands, but he made St. Thomas his home. He has received numerous awards for recognition. And condolences on behalf of all of us here at News 2 to the family. Hospital ground redesign charrette that began Wednesday, and the public, as we reported, was encouraged to assist in planning improvements, to share their ideas, suggestions, and concerns as plans are laid to improve one of St. Thomas's most historic neighborhoods. Well, discussions began on 9 a.m. on Wednesday, and followed by that was some brief remarks from Governor Kenneth Mapp. We will have more on further newscast. The Litter Associates are at work on St. John, cleaning up for the holidays. Public spaces and roadsides got a remake as a part of the beautification initiative of the Mapp Potter administration. Enide Pond, Pine Peace, Chocolate Hole, Great Cruise Bay, Centerline Road, and Coral Bay have been tackled. Here's more.
Fish Bay and Gift Hill on Friday. The final week of November will find the Litter Associates in Cruise Bay again and on Centerline Road on the 28th. Great Cruise Bay, Pine Peace, and Chocolate Hole on the 29th, and finally Gift Hill, Fish Bay, Enide, and Contant on Wednesday the 30th. As the effort continues to clean and maintain roadsides and other public spaces, Governor Kenneth Mapp and administration officials are urging that citizens contribute their best efforts by properly disposing of litter and garbage and advising children and visitors to do the same.
The USVI Department of Health, they collaborated with the Seventh-day Adventist Church located in Peter's Rest on St. Croix and provided some health education to over 160 children during their Children's Health Expo that was held on Sunday from 9 to 3. The Department of Health's Women, Infants, and Children program, which is WIC, mental health, chronic disease, immunization programs were all present, in which education pertaining to personal hygiene, the maintenance of good mental health, the prevention of chronic disease, and Zika prevention tips were provided to all the children in attendance. Free flu vaccinations were also provided. Additionally, the Department of Health gave over 600 items to the children. McHappy Day was held on Friday, November 18th. You may remember we reported the launch of McDonald's McHappy Day that was held at the local nonprofit agency servicing VI youth called My Brother's Workshop. Now, the agency has helped hundreds of at-risk and high-risk Virgin Islands youth, keeping them off the streets through vocational training and counseling programs. Arcos Dorados is donating 100% of the Big Mac proceeds to My Brother's Workshop. Here's more.
Make it. We all can make it in life. So that's what this program is about, and I support that 100%. So thank you, man. Thank you guys for being here.
Hi, welcome to McHappy Day here at McDonald's Lockhart Gardens in St. Thomas. Today, all Big Mac proceeds are donated 100% to My Brother's Workshop in St. Thomas and also in St. Croix. McHappy Day is all about giving back to the communities where we operate. We work hand in hand with the communities, and we're very happy to support My Brother's Workshop and the youth of the Virgin Islands. So come in today to McDonald's, get your Big Mac, and you're helping for a great cause.
UVI unveiled a new dock at the McLean Marine Science Center overlooking Brewers Bay on the St. Thomas campus, and the opening ceremony involved presentations and tours. The upgraded infrastructure will greatly increase the university's Center for Marine and Environmental Studies, CMES, and the ability for them to safely conduct marine research. The new concrete dock is 170 feet long, approximately 90 feet longer than the last dock, which was built in 1997 following Hurricane Marilyn. It has space for 8 boats at one time. The depth at the end is 12 feet. Funding came from 2 separate National Science Foundation experimental programs to stimulate competitive research grants. The total cost of the project was just over $1 million. Here's more.
And so we are proud of the way in which that CMES reaches out to the community in so many other types of ways and are able to move the university forward in the process. So thank all of those who he mentioned who have contributed financially to the program and to the university. Thanks to all of the staff members of CMES who worked so hard to keep this project and this program moving. And thanks to those behind the scene who do so much as well.
Well, be sure to stick around. Your News 2 AccuWeather forecast is coming up next.
The Virgin Islands has been bringing us quite a bit of rain, as we've seen on the radar. And take a look at the satellite. We're looking at pretty active weather down over parts of the Central Caribbean, especially Hispaniola and into the Virgin Islands. And that's going to continue throughout tonight as well. It really doesn't look like this is going to lessen very much. So we do have some heavier downpours within these storms passing through. But we are going to see eventually a break from that. So spotty showers throughout this evening as well. As we head towards tomorrow, we'll still see some of those showers as that front isn't going to dismantle completely, but they will become less frequent. So St. John into St. Thomas beginning to become less frequent for tomorrow, as well as down into St. Croix. Maybe less of a chance to see some showers in St. John and St. Thomas than seeing them in St. Croix later on in the day. Out on the waters, with these fronts continuing to come through and stall over the region, we do have some winds out the east, 15 to 20 knots, and our waves slightly above average on the Atlantic side. We do have some of those swells. But on the Caribbean side, no small craft advisory. We're looking at those waves 4 to 6 feet. Our swells just not as big, and our winds out of the east 15 to 20 knots. And as we take a look at your extended outlook, so for our Wednesday, less frequent showers will begin to build back into some sunshine for your Thursday. And into Friday, maybe a stray shower here or there. Come Saturday, we will have another front passing over the region, and that's going to continue to bring us some showery weather over the next few days. Back to you, Sandy.
Thanks for that. Time for our News 2 weather picture there by Kiara Thomas, representing Ricardo Richards Elementary School. And Kiara is looking forward to Thanksgiving Day and some smooth sailing going into Turkey Day and the weekend. Kiara, thank you for that. We can see she included some sunshine there. Send us your News 2 weather picture to be featured right here on News 2 to News 2 Innovative Business Center, 4611 Tutu Park, Suite 300, St. Thomas, Virgin Islands, 00802. And that is all for this edition of News 2. We'd like to thank you for joining us for all the latest. And I'm Sandra Mansing. Have a wonderful evening. We'll see you next time.